What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update, guys. We're coming from the set of The View. The View host known to take things a bit too far and say things that they shouldn't say on their show. This time getting themselves in a little bit of trouble. Not only getting themselves into some trouble, but also getting their news network, ABC, into some trouble, legal trouble with Donald Trump and his wife, Melania Trump, guys. I'm excited to get in this update, see exactly what was said to get them in that legal trouble. So we're gonna get straight to the clip. I won't give too much on the front end. I'll wait till the end and get it on the back. So guys, definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight into the update. Before we do that though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
The views are shrews, and they weigh in on the Trump merch-on case, and they can't resist. They go after Melania Trump. They're so mean and cruel, and they think this is delicious, but and they laugh. But I want to encourage us to laugh. They're allowed to laugh, and we're allowed to laugh. We just laugh for different reasons. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. Let's get our news from ABC's #1 talk show.
I want to let you know what's going on, because earlier this morning, history was made here in New York when the first...
I've never seen Whoopi so happy. It looks like she drank a bottle of Jack Daniels before she went on the air.
Persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America. This is really an attack on a political opponent. That's all it is. So I'm very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
However, Trump has pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records and has denied ever having an affair with Stormy Daniels.
I'm putting the end of Sunny Hostin at the beginning here just to put all of this in context. These are all allegations. And the audience is laughing. This is why we're laughing. This is why I laugh. So they're laughing, thinking it's delicious at Trump. And I'm only saying we have our free speech right to laugh too. I laugh at people who think our legal system is still working. I laugh at the justice system where they demand that you salute the robe and be respectful as if there's anything left to respect in New York. And I laugh at you. I'm mocking you. So you laugh at Trump, we laugh at you. America is laughing at New York's justice system.
I think that...
Think is kind of stretching it, right, Sonny?
So I don't think that this is going to be a difficult case to prove. I think it can be won and lost during jury selection. That's what most lawyers say. You win or lose. And so what's going to be very interesting is who is going to be on this jury. There is not going to be anyone on the jury that has never heard of Donald Trump.
You're ding dong right. This thing is decided by the jury. And that's why we already know Trump's not going to get a fair trial. So accurate and correct, Sunny Hostin. It's about the jury, and specifically Juan Merchan gets to approve any dismissals. So he gets to handpick this jury.
But what we do want is people that still know everything, but can render an impartial verdict. And I really believe in our jury system, and I think that they can do the job.
I like how serious she gets. I still believe in our impartial jury system. Yeah, and we're laughing at you and the jury system. It's not against the law to laugh at them and to render my judgment that this thing is a fraud. And Sonny's seriousness is funny also. It's silly.
The question for me is, if he is convicted, if he is sentenced to prison, can he still run for president? Because if you are a convicted felon, guess what? You can't vote for president. I don't understand how you can be a convicted felon and run for president. That makes zero sense.
Yeah, keep clapping, everybody. Show me in the Constitution that says he can't run. It does not say it. She's inventing law. And we already know from her supporting the New York trial case what she thinks of law. To her, it's just like, I just have this preferred end in mind, and whatever it takes to get there, including breaching the law, doing unprecedented cases to persecute Trump, they're all for it.
I don't think our forefathers, the framers of the Constitution, imagined for 1 minute that there'd be somebody like Donald Trump, much less that the American people, the Republicans in this case, would support him and make him the nominee. I mean, he's made history so many times right now.
Yeah, he's going to make history again. And she's making up another law. I don't think the founders had in mind that someone like Trump would run. Did the founders have in mind that Trump would be facing 5, 6 lawsuits from political opponents with all kinds of made up charges, stretches of the law, unprecedented timing, when he decides to run for president? Did the founders have that in mind, or do you only care about the founders when it comes to them imagining someone like Trump? Can they imagine someone like Biden opening up the border or doing whatever he did to Tara Reid, which is worse than anything they've accused Trump of? You also have to put that in context. It's not Trump versus some perfect Ronald Reagan. It's Trump versus Joe Biden.
This is, I think this is a political issue.
No kidding.
I don't know. I've kind of lost hope that anything is going to make a difference when it comes to the Republican base and his supporters.
For those of you who've lost hope, don't be like Anna Navarro. She goes, I've lost hope on the Republican base and the voters, and she's all glum going, there's no justice. We should cheer at that our loyalty and fun we're having is disheartening the enemy. They're losing their confidence. They're the ones now going, I don't trust the American voter anymore. That's because of us. That's a good thing.
But there's also a personal issue. Yeah. I mean, Melania has barely been seen in the last few months, barely been campaigning. And now she's going to have to deal with the public embarrassment. She
doesn't have to deal with anything. She doesn't go out in the public because she doesn't like sopping up the cameras. This isn't Hillary Clinton we're talking about, okay? She's a quiet woman and she's a very kind of modest, shy person. And now they're bringing her into this. No one even brought Melania Trump up, and The View only rolls her out so they can start smacking her around because remember, this is a woman show, a pro-woman show. And this is what they do to a fellow woman. They're backing up a Playboy model stripper and a porn star to throw darts at Melania Trump. As far as we know, a good first lady, good mom, good wife, good daughter.
It's a crime because he was in the middle of a campaign, and it's considered a campaign contribution, unreported.
Yeah, and don't forget about the illegal contributions. Barack Obama himself got fined out of office for his illegal contributions. What about Hillary Clinton? Just mountains and mountains of illegal contributions, even from foreign entities. But our law system never went out for them because this is where it becomes a Marxist communist law system. They only use it to prosecute political opponents, and your own side gets a pass. So that's an important point that Ana Navarro brings up.
I'm frustrated because the case that actually could change public sentiment, the January 6th trial, is like nowhere to be found.
Yes. Push that thing aside, ladies and gentlemen. Whose fault is that? That's Jack Smith with his procedures, ended up convoluting it, complicating it, and now it's pushed off. And I'm just celebrating that. And again, laughing. January 6th trial, nowhere to be seen.
We're waiting on the immunity ruling. We very well may not have a verdict in that ahead of the election. And that's scary for me because I think that's what actually could change the course of this election and wake people up to how dangerous it is.
It's only scary to her because they don't get to use that now to change the course of the election. She just admitted to it. I just want to change the course of this election. She's a Democrat talking point. I'm agreeing with her. Thanks for admitting it.
Slapping his behind with a Forbes magazine when Melania Trump had just given birth.
She brings up this slapping Trump's bottom with a Forbes magazine, which is a weird rumor that that's what Stormy Daniels did to him. Personally, I think it's one of the better uses you could use for a Forbes magazine. I think Ana Navarro is only mad that it's not, Mother Jones.
I'd like to hear the evangelicals.
Oh, now they're bringing up the evangelicals. Guilty. How am I supposed to think, Ana Navarro? They're going to tell you in a minute.
You looked at some research that said independents and moderate Republicans would never vote for a convicted felon.
Yeah, that was a fake. Poll where they did not tell you that these false trials were going to be run up against Trump. They just go, in general, do you want to vote for a felon? Like, do you want to vote for O.J. Simpson, a felon? No. Okay. These polls, they can flip the words around to mean anything they want.
So that's a good question. This is kind of the million-dollar question that I don't know the answer to, but my theory, knowing Republican voters very well, I think there should be an asterisk in that polling. I think if he's a convicted felon in January 6th, the documents case, 100%. A lot of people would leave him. A lot of independents, moderate Republicans.
And studies have shown that.
Yeah. I don't know that Republican voters who said that agree in this case.
Yeah, because in this case, we know it's a false trial. Is it, I won't vote for a felon, no matter how you turn a guy into a felon? Hardly. People aren't dumb. And that's all old news. They thought that was how people think. That was so last year. They have not addressed where culture's at this year when people see Trump brilliantly campaign on these indictments against him that are going to walk him into the White House.
Like, how can an evangelical voter?
There we go with the evangelicals again. I'll tell you, it's very easy for an evangelical to vote for Trump. And by the way, I'm a pro-lifer. And Trump kind of threw us under the bus last week. It doesn't mean I won't vote for him, because who's the alternate? Joe Biden. Are evangelicals attracted to vote for Joe Biden? They pretend like there's no one else running. It's easy for an evangelical to vote for Trump, especially when the left, the Democrat Party, is persecuting churches. They hunt us for game. They spy on us. Trump won't do that. There's a lot of things that Trump I may disagree with him on. And I even think he's probably a bad man in certain areas, but nothing compared to Biden. And lo and behold, that's what this election is about. They won't bring up Biden. They won't defend Biden. They won't talk about Biden's record. They won't talk about what Biden did to one of his aides, pinned her in an office and violated her. They won't talk about that. And so how do evangelicals vote for that?
Who
They think
believes
it's a
in
witch
family
hunt.
values and believes in systems in this country would vote for
Tim
someone who is
Alberta spoke
convicted.
about that.
Because we all Christians, in fact, evangelicals know better than anyone Christian who's suffered religious persecution. No one's had more persecution than the Christians in the last 1,000 years. It's even more than any other group you'd think. More of us are put to death. More of us are persecuted for our beliefs. We always have been. From the beginning, Jesus warned us, if the world's after you, it'll come out. Just remember, it hated me first. And that's been kind of our charter. He knows what's going to happen if you're an evangelical. You're going to get persecuted. And all I can say is all those evangelicals know what it's like to be unfairly treated. It's actually really similar to the black vote, who go, look, I know what it's like to be mistried and have a cop pull me over on a late night when I didn't do anything. And so that's what they used to vote for on the Democrats. And now they're seeing Trump get mistried. And suddenly you have 30% of the black male vote is now turning to Trump. They know what it's like to be mistried. So do evangelicals, Sonny. They know what it's like to have you lie about our people all the time.
Here on the show when he said they think he's the coming of Christ.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be Christ-like. They actually are believing.
And there's exhibit A for why evangelicals vote for Trump, because of liars like blonde hairdo here. She said that we evangelicals think Trump is actually a second coming of Christ. That's the kind of lie and libel that gets us to say, you're wrong, and now I'm twice as loyal to Trump because of the lies that you tell about Christian voters. I don't know of anyone, I don't know of anyone in my audience that says, like, Trump is the chosen one, Trump is God's anointed. I've seen some of those comments before. Very rare. It's not why evangelicals vote for Trump. It's because we know the Democrat state is hunting us. We'll lose religious liberty. They're terrible on picking judges that will defend free speech, which is how we're able to articulate, spread the gospel freely, is because we have free speech here, that they're going to take you down for your words, for what you believe. They're checking your emails. They're checking your messages. It's documented. Biden's FBI, the Department of Justice. Evangelicals are terrified of the left. And we're supposed to go, oh, I have family values, so I can't support Trump. They think we're dumb.
I know, it's a terrible image.
Well, no, it's not illegal to have your butt smacked by a Forbes magazine.
It's scary that Whoopi seems to say that with authority.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys, we just seen right there is the View host in typical fashion, walking themselves and their network into another lawsuit. They better tread lightly on the subject of, Melania Trump. And this Merchan case. Honestly, not sure why they felt the need they had to bring her up. Merchan case has nothing to do with Melania, guys. They're saying that she's going to have to start coming back into the face, the public eye. They hadn't seen her in a while, and this is the reason why, guys. We have these networks that allow these nasty shows, that spew out all this hate. And all this defamation out on people. Why would she feel the need to get out there and get in the public eye? This is exactly why she she stepped out of that image, stepped into the shadows, because she didn't feel like it was needed. Donald Trump had it by himself. All these political witch hunts, and the blatant persecution of Donald Trump was enough. He didn't even have to have his wife by his side, campaigning with him, because the political witch hunts coming from the left was enough to suffice, guys. Now we got the View host not making things any better, not making her want to come out in the public eye, stand next to Donald Trump again, where they're trying to say that she should be disgusted and ashamed to be standing next to a guy like Donald Trump because he is, a pending convicted felon, which we already know. This is all charade cases, guys. None of this is rightfully brought about. None of this is just, and that's exactly why we haven't got a guilty verdict yet. And we won't get a guilty verdict. This is why we're seeing that panic coming from the viewers. They're now realizing that, most of these cases won't make it to trial before Donald Trump is elected in later on this year, essentially stating that Donald Trump has already won this fight, the biggest fight that we had to go up against. This wasn't Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. This was Donald Trump versus the state, and the weaponized state, the Biden administration that brought about against him, and he has won that fight because of their goal was all the timing effort. They're supposed to tie up Donald Trump's campaigning effort, all of his resources, get this guy tried and on trial before election day later this year. And it seems like none of these cases, especially the big cases, we're seeing, the View host saying that Jack Smith cases went nowhere. It's been paused forever. A lot of these big cases have been on pause and a standstill because Donald Trump has been appealing every decision. A lot of these cases have been moving at very turtle's pace because Donald Trump and his legal team has been making sure that these things are thoroughly, processed through the legal system. All the rogue justices like Jack Smith and DA Fani Willis have been trying to plead and cry that, Donald Trump has been dragging his feet, having judges drag their feet, but it's not been the case. It hasn't worked, guys, and that's exactly why we're seeing the View hosts have that panic now that their cases are going to be flopping on top of their heads. The View hosts better be careful because they're dancing on a very fine line of a lawsuit. Messing with Donald Trump and his, fiery legal team. Don't think the host should be thinking of mentioning Melania Trump on their show, guys, unless they want to battle with the lawsuit and get their network in even further trouble. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one, though. We're seeing the View host, with a huge panic attack. Now they're seeing a lot of these legal battles for Donald Trump have already been won. The timing game has been won. Donald Trump may not be facing any trials, or no trials will be started before election day later this year. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button and share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.